I do get the point that you raised. Another super chat here I want to go to says, point is equally silly to rule out major issues with Amarim's system. Ineos, as it is, write them off at this stage. Delusion goes both ways. This is the thing. I said this last week. We have seen, without the right quality of player, have we not all seen Pep's system be exposed week in, week out this season?
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So there we go. The greatest manager of your generation system has flaws when the quality of personnel isn't at the highest standard. And that, for me, is fairly typical in the modern day game. So from my perspective, I know there's flaws in the game. There's holes in the system. Of course there is. I don't think you fix them by him changing. What you do is you build a squad that covers those flaws and accelerates the quality. And I'll give you an example away from this sport. I remember watching a documentary about Tiger Woods. When Tiger Woods was younger, his dad wanted him to do extra work and training on getting out of bunkers because he struggled with it. And what Tiger Woods, he was kind of talking about what he did. And he was doing all this extra training and he wasn't really getting that much better at getting out of bunkers. But what he was amazing at for his age, he was maybe the best in the world at that point of hitting it so straight on the fairway that he rarely went in a bunker. And his word to his coaches, which they went with, was, well, let's just stop the working on getting out of bunkers. I'll just work on making my drive even better so I don't fucking land in bunkers. And that resonated with me when I watched it, because I just thought, sometimes that's what you've got to do. These are our flaws. Okay, well, let's work on our strengths and make them so strong that it covers up the flaws in the team. That's what I think happens in a lot of these systems. You take away the players. Like, we know how good Arsenal are defensively. Take away their two best centre-backs. Are they... is it the system or is it the lack of quality in the system? I think it's more the quality.
And on the quality, I just need to raise one player up today, because I feel like he's had a resurgence of backing over the last few weeks, and I just think we need to stop doing it. Is Harry Maguire. Yes, I understand. A few weeks ago, he had a good few run of games. I've been like, yes, renew the contract, keep him. Like he should be here for the rebuild. No, time and time again, this season, the season before that, he will do costly things like ball watch, like get outstrengthed by defenders, like being slow to react. And I'm sorry, you can't coach being quick. You can't coach not ball watching. That is something innate in him at 31, 32 years old. His contract is up at the end of the summer. Let it go. Don't renew. Yeah. And I know maybe for PSR reasons they're thinking about it. I'd rather take the risk and let a younger centre-back play or buy a new centre-back, because him, alongside De Ligt, who didn't have his best game today either, he was also dreadful, in a back three is just not going to work. And to build for Man United, we need to raise that ceiling. And Harry Maguire, as for much that he can do well in a back three, we need to move past him.
I got a question for both of you. I got a question for Terry before I know that you got to go watch out. But this is very important for the Man United fans. If you do shows and you talk about the financial situation at Man United and you keep saying that the players need to go, but the financial power is not there to do an overhaul soon enough, shouldn't Amarim adapt at least to not have Man United at 15?
What do you mean by that? Expand that question more for me.
Okay, so the context is, if you have the financial power and if you are about to do what Chelsea did, which is basically get like 9-10 players in one window and completely overhaul the squad in one summer or 2 windows, I would say yes, he should stick to the system until he gets the players. But if you don't have the financial power, and I listen to your shows, you talk about the debt, you talk about Ineos, you talk about you have to sell to buy and all this stuff. If you have to do this, shouldn't he at least try to get results so the players' value go up, so you can replace them with better players?
I hear your point there, but when you say adapt, I don't think he should change. How much of an adaptation are you talking about?
I don't know. Like get results, like something. He needs to do something to get results, right?
Yeah, maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. I don't know whether he does or he doesn't. I don't know whether or not they're going to sack him if he remains 15th for the rest of the season. If they've told him, as long as we don't get relegated, you stay, then no, he doesn't need to get results. So I'm being honest. So, but the difference is this, right? If we come, people have said to me before, if you come 2nd or 8th, there's no difference. You didn't win the league. Okay, hear me out. 2nd or 8th, same thing. You didn't win the league. If we come 17th or 12th, genuinely, what is the difference in your opinion?
I think it's just a lack of confidence. The players' value go down.
But I don't think the players' value does go down. We're just seeing I just don't think the players' value will go down, if I'm being honest with you. We've seen what players have done when they leave Man United. That isn't a concern for me. Yes, I want us to get results, okay? Equally, though, I don't want us to do what Chelsea did and go and buy 8 or 9 players in the summer. I actually think I just don't think that works very well. I think what you actually need to do is go out and buy 5 or 6 maximum top-level players. 1-0 Tottenham, by the way. I didn't know they were playing at 3 o'clock today. 1-0 Tottenham, Brendan Johnson. So for me, I understand that question, but I don't have an answer for it. We will see.
The reason why I'm saying this before, go ahead.
I just don't have an answer. So I understand the logic that, yes, he needs to get results. At the same time, I'm standing by what I've said. I'm not yielding. I want us to build a philosophy. I want to play the way we're meant to play, win, lose, or draw, until this squad is complete. I'm standing by that. I
disagree with you, by the way.
The reason why I don't, and when I say the system, we will, when we're away against a hard team soon, we'll play differently. We'll be more defensive. So I see that as adapting. I just don't want to, whatever his principles are, I don't want him to give them up. I don't, the same way we heard Ten Hag say, I will never be able to play or never create a team that looked like my Ajax team. I don't want to hear that from this manager. I don't mind us being more defensive when we play Arsenal in a couple of weeks, and then more attacking when we're at home against Ipswich. That for me is the adaptation at the level I like. What I don't want is for the manager to suddenly go, oh, I'm going to go 4-3-3, and we're going to play counter-attack football only, and we're just going to coach that until the squad's built. That for me is stupid.
Yeah.
It's fouled 8 times before.
I agree with that point. In terms of the long-term plan of Man United, if we are going to be slowly building the team, which I don't agree with personally, then doing this whole, we'll play defensive for 3 years, and then when the squad's built, then start to transition into this, is counterproductive, because Amorim will get sacked because he don't teach that anyway. That's not his game. That's not the system that he's brought up with. So there's no point of building that just to.
Mo, I want you to fake your personality on my shows until we hit 1 million subs. Then I want you to be the real Mo.
Why are you saying that?
Because that's
the example of
that's how stupid it would be. I want you to be a fake Mo until we hit the right amount of subs, so that your real personality can get the biggest impact possible. It would never work. to get to that point, you need to implement what you are. I do find the logic of yielding on your, like, even I know we're obsessed nowadays with style of play, but even Sir Alex Ferguson, imagine Sir Alex Ferguson went into Man United in 1985, 1986, and they were like, right, we know you want to manage X, manage Y, manage B. We know you want to play X, play Y, play B, but we want you to do none of that until we've completely fixed the club. Part of fixing the club is implementing those processes, those standards. I think one of the reasons why you see a lot of our players lackadaisical as well is I don't think they like the hard work they've got to do. A lot of our Man United players like to work hard when the cameras are watching. So away at Arsenal in the FA Cup, when the world's watching, when they're playing City away, well, they turn up. We then play in a smaller club, and I mean at home, and the energy levels ain't there. That's something that I don't want the manager to yield on, punishing players for not giving their all week in, week out. That would be crazy to yield on that kind of thing. Because we've got to end the show soon. I want to do a few more super chats here. What I don't understand is why clubs change managers so much, and when a new manager gets a club in the middle of the season, they criticize him when he's trying to get through the rest of the campaign.
It's because we've been cursed with this thing called new manager bounce, and every club / fan base expects it to happen every single time you get a new manager. Bounce, we'll be fine. And then when that doesn't happen, it's, well, clearly it's his fault, because why haven't we had a bounce yet? Sometimes it's not that. Sometimes after years of neglect, no matter what manager comes in, even if you do have a bounce, it's not setting you up for the future. Look how many times Wigan, Sunderland, flipping West Brom, all these teams have new manager bounces. Where are they now? Not in the Premier League. You know what I'm saying? So we need to sometimes hold it.
I hear that. Amorim thinks the EPL is Casapia. I don't know what that means.
Estroli. So he's trying to say that he thinks it's the Portuguese league with all these crap teams every week and do whatever he wants.
Okay, but you got the thing is as well. Everyone's made their minds up. I'm gonna wait. My judgment is really going to come into play when his squad's built. I'm just going to try my best to do it that way around this time. I wonder why people won't say Garnacho being kicked from behind and a goal and a goal kick being given seconds later before it's a pen, but a soft pull on the shirt.
No, Stephen, you're completely wrong. Idrissa Gana Gueye cleared the ball off Garnacho's foot. Right call, goal kick. What are you watching,
it was a goal kick, to be fair.
What are you watching, Stephen? They're just clutching to anything, bro.
What's really interesting, though, when Dorgu was caught running through, if Dorgu goes down, everybody says soft penalty. And this is the one thing I would say. A lot of people have been hypocrites on this show. People will say I have been, because I'm not saying Everton were robbed. I'm stating that I think those things are fouls, but I'm just going by the fleeting calls. And I get what you said, KJ, about how there hasn't been one for a while, but I haven't seen any press release saying they've dropped that protocol. So I understand it. And I think that's what we'll hear from the referee.
Yes, Stephen, I'm answering you because you're commenting again. It was a goal kick. Even KJ agrees it was off Garnacho's foot.
Yeah, I don't think that was a foul. No, I'm back in Amorim because it's not the system. He needs to get his players in. Ugarte and Dorgu are playing well in this system.
Don't forget, Ahmad was playing well as well.
Yep. The real conversation shouldn't be pen or not, but whether it was enough conclusive evidence to overturn the call. I saw a pull and embellishing. And that's the thing. None of us we can all give an opinion on what we think, but none of us know until we hear the audio. And this is why for a long time I've said we need to hear the audio as an example. But what I will say about that point today, that point does put Man United as it stands 13 points above the relegation zone and then we play Ipswich soon. It's a big 6-pointer on Wednesday. So we win that. We might put ourselves 16 points clear of relegation. That will be with 11 games to go. So I would say we're safe if we pick up that win.